On December 5th, 2021, Anyma released the track Running, and that was the breakthrough of his solo career. And after that, it was just hit after hit. In today's video, we're gonna analyze what made Anyma such a huge success and the top 5 things that you can learn from him that you can start applying to your own tracks right now. But before we begin, let me know over here in the comment sections below if you prefer him as Anyma or if you prefer him as Tale of Us. But let's get down to the business and let's get started with this tutorial. Shall we? Let's go. One thing that Anyma did to stand out was to create a really memorable signature sound, and he created a quite memorable one. Listen over here to this song called Running, and you're probably already familiar with this kind of sound over here. When we think about melodic techno, it's impossible to not think about Anyma, and it's also impossible not to think about this bass shot, which became known as Anyma shot and is literally all over the place in melodic techno. You can also see some variations of this in the song called The Sign, which he did with Camel Fat. And also in the song called Explore Your Future. This is one of Anyma's signature sounds, and the more people copy it, the more we see how groundbreaking Anyma's sound design is. And different from the Nora and Pure video, where the signature sound was a common sound, you can also make your signature sound with a really crazy sound design. The best way to learn sound design is actually just by recreating tutorials online, and this will give you the skills to create some unique sounds like this one that you've just heard. But not all Anyma sounds are really complex, and that takes us to our second point in the video. As you might have seen in my previous videos over here about bass lines, when you have a really complicated mid-range and high range like Anyma does, if you also complicate the low end, it can become a bit too overwhelming for the listener. And that's exactly why Anyma's bass lines are normally simple. He uses two kinds of bass lines, a rolling bass line but you also have the plucky kind of bass line like in the song called Save Me with Cassian. And you also have songs that he's doing both of them, like in a song called Eternity with Chris Avantgarde. If we check it over here in Ableton, you can see that he has a rolling portion of that bass line, like you can see it over here. And on top of that, he has some plucky notes doing the characteristic of the sound, like you can listen over here. Now the original again. And we can learn a couple of things from what Anyma is doing over here. First, when he has a rolling bass, normally it plays a more simple sound design, because if we complicate it, it can become a bit overwhelming with such a complicated mid and high range. Second, when he has a plucky bass, that's when he cranks up the sound design a little bit more, because it has more space for the notes to play through. And third, he's doing something later in Eternity that we haven't listened yet, so you can listen over here. Anyma's bass lines not necessarily play one single note, and sometimes they follow a progression, as you can listen over here. And that takes us to our third point. Anyma is definitely not a techno act, as a lot of his songs have a lot of melodic elements that make the songs a bit more emotional and also melodically richer. Listen, for example, to the song called Welcome to the Opera. Can you see how there's a lot of melodies in the song? And if we dive deeper into why these songs are melodic, you're gonna see a couple of things that Anyma is doing to make their songs a bit more melodic than techno. First, and most importantly, you can see a lot of bass note changes along the songs, and also how the melodies evolve, like in the song Welcome to the Opera, and these all contribute to make the song a bit more melodic. They're trying to tell a melodic story through the song, like in the song called Claire. Second, another thing that Anyma is doing that makes the songs a bit more melodic is that they normally have vocals in it that contribute to that melodic story of the song. Sometimes the vocal is working as a main lead and it's full of lyrics like any melodic or progressive genre, like in the song called The Sign. But sometimes you can also hear some really harsh digital voices or even some voice chops, like in the song called Explore Your Future. These two elements contribute to make Anyma's a merge between the harshness and the darkness of techno, also with the story and the progression of progressive house. And that's why it's called melodic techno. And since we're talking about harshness, we have to talk about what makes Anyma really shines through. If I had to choose one thing that I really love about Anyma is how they're pushing the limits of sound design with their leads. Listen, for example, to their remix of My City's on Fire and listen how the lead sounds like. Now, also check how they're doing the lead in the song called Siren. Or also in the song called Consciousness with Chris Avant-Garde.
Virtual existence.
And you can check the recreation of this last lead that even Chris liked it, so definitely check it out. Lastly, also listen to the sequences of leads and bass shots like in the song called The Sign. From here, we can spot multiple things that Anyma is doing to make their leads a bit more unique. First, he's doing a lot of call and response. Where one lead makes the call, the other lead is responding to that call like it happened in the song called The Sign. And you can also listen to over here in Siren. In addition, you can also hear to a lot of pitch modulation and rhythm as you've just listened in the song called Siren, but listen to it again. Sometimes another thing that he's doing is using bass shots as the main leads of the song, as he's doing in the song called Explore Your Future. Notice how he also did a call and response of the bass shot with the vocal. When talking about leads, most importantly, what I love about Anyma is that they're always innovating and they're always bringing new sounds to their songs, even to their signature sound. They're not only relying on one song and using it all over their songs. They're always changing, always making it dynamic, and that's something that you can start applying to your own song as well. But that's not all what made Anyma so big as an artist. And that takes us to our next point in this video. When producers create an experience around their music, it just makes the songs and the shows even better. Anyma, for example, has an avatar that it's always in his shows and it's synchronized with his music, and it just makes the songs and also the show a lot more interesting to see. Look at this video, for example, and see how cool this is. Now, this is beyond the music and now it becomes an experience. But why should you care about this? Well, the songs are great, but the experience is what makes it worth sharing. Look at, for example, how many people are recording this video in the show. My friends who went to AfterLife here in Brazil didn't show me videos of him DJing, but they showed me videos of the experience at the avatar. But again, why does that matter? In addition to creating his own crowd and his own die-hard fans, which is what sells shows, Anyma is getting exposed to more people that probably wouldn't listen to his songs if it wasn't for people sharing his videos. And the more people listening to your songs, the more Saint Spotify will promote your music, which will get you more fans and will essentially get you more people in the show, which essentially makes more people share your music, and the cycle goes on and on and on. And that's essentially what made Anyma so big and such an amazing artist as he is right now. Now, it's your turn to start making music that is worth sharing as well. And you can start by seeing this Anyma's tutorials that you can see over here and also over here. I hope you liked the video and I hope to see you in the next Abstrakt video next week. Ciao.